With Ethereum pumping almost to all-time highs and it now finding support at a very crucial level, I think it's time to discuss the best beta plays on Ethereum, which I personally believe are all on the base chain. At the end of the day, Ethereum's not really going to scale and function without base being its layer 2 to help scale it. And if you look at all the different chains, if you look at the metrics, base is essentially ranking as a top crypto chain on many of the metrics. In terms of protocols, it's got 691 protocols, comparing to something, like Solana, even more than Solana it has. Solana has 344, Base has 691. And if you look at the active addresses, there's over 1 million active addresses, almost on the level of something like BNB, which has just over 2 million. So it has a very high amount of on-chain activity, and obviously it ties into the Ethereum narrative. So today we're going to discuss the very best plays to buy on base to make a ton of money in the next few weeks and months. So we're going to start from the highest to the lowest. So we're going to start off with the more safe plays. And then if you stay to the end, you're going to get more of the degen plays, more of the smaller low caps. So the most obvious play is Aerodrome, a coin which I called as low as 39 cents in my VIP group, which you can join hitting the link down below. It's currently at around $1.32 with a market cap just above $1 billion. Now, PancakeSwap last bull run went to a market cap, I believe, was it around 10 billion, something like that? And PancakeSwap, if you don't know, is the DEX for BNB. Oh, it went to 6 billion. Okay, just a bit below 10 billion. So I would argue Aerodrome probably still has maybe a 3 to 6x left in the tank from here. I think it could match the BNB DEX all-time high of PancakeSwap. And the main reason why I believe Aero will do better than some people think is because of the fact that Base itself doesn't have a token. The fact Base doesn't have a token means people are going to over-speculate on the beta plays on Base, right? Because they can't gain exposure to Base itself through its native token. So what are they going to do? They're going to buy the most obvious way of betting on Base, which is through the Aerodrome token. Could you imagine if Ethereum didn't have a token, how much people would buy Uniswap, for example? If Ethereum didn't have a token, it wouldn't really work, right? But you get what I'm saying. If you take away the native token, there's a lot more room to speculate on some of the beta plays. And Arrow is the most obvious one. It had this clear support down here. And that's why I was buying, because it was hitting support. And when a solid blue chip coin hits support, it's a good lesson to buy it from now on, okay, whenever you see it happen again. So Aerodrome is a great one. It's integrated within Coinbase, and people are saying they're going to be bringing Solana stuff into their DEX. So it's going to be a Base and Solana DEX, people are saying now, based off one of their recent X posts. The next one would be Morpho, which is my favorite borrowing and lending play on Base. It's also directly integrated within Coinbase. So if you want to borrow money through Coinbase, you go through Morpho. And that's incredible, right? Because Coinbase is like the new bank of the world. It's the Web3 bank. And Morpho is the infrastructure layer for that bank, for the borrowing and lending. So at a 750 million market cap, I'm actually going to argue Morpho is incredibly undervalued. It's the second biggest borrowing and lending coin in terms of FDV. And I believe it has the potential to actually get to Arve's market cap from last bull run, which is multiple X's from here. So Morpho is one I would go for. It's on Coinbase. I called this one around $1. So we're up 2x on Morpho. Noticing a bit of a trend here. All these coins I'm up on because we're calling them super early. The next one is the AI play. That'll be virtuals. I'm up on virtuals as well. I was buying that one at 50 cents. It's got all these different AI agents on it. It's on Binance. And it's a hype coin. I mean, it's a utility coin, but it's also a hype coin. And that's the great thing about virtuals is it blends hype and utility together. Some coins are just pure utility, something like Morpho. It's not a great deal of hype around borrowing and lending. But something like virtuals with AI and with all the agents they've got, the community stuff, they have a great blend of hype and utility. So think there's a good chance Morpho could put in a new all-time high this bull run and potentially do somewhere between, a 3 to a 10x from here. And like I said, we were buying at 50 cents there or thereabouts. It ran all the way up here. I was actually up 5x on my money, and I took a ton of profits here. So thing in my group, I'm actually taking profits on these coins. I'm not just riding them up forever and diamond handing like some people say. I take profits along the way, and that's a key thing that you should take note of. Now, for memes, we've obviously got Brett. The whole boys club narrative, the Pepe stuff, it has died down a lot, but I do expect it to come back once retail start getting into memes again. And once that risk on sentiment comes, which I expect, especially with the fact that Ethereum just made a big move. Now it's calming down a little bit. I expect it to continue up shortly. So the risk will come back. Brett is the obvious play on base. Only thing is, it doesn't have a Coinbase listing. So there's a little bit of concern around that. The fact that it doesn't have a Coinbase listing and it's on base. Why is that? If you have a reason behind that, let me know in the comments. But Brett remains a strong community coin. And if it was going to die, it would have died already. The fact it survived big drawdowns in the market, especially with memes, shows how strong the community behind Brett is and the fact that it's going to stay around. And if Pepe runs again, you've got a great beta play to Pepe with Brett on the hottest chain right now, which is base. Then we've got Toshi, and Toshi has a really nice looking chart right now. It's a beautiful chart. Like, it just keeps on putting in higher lows, and it's like making a move up, coming down, forming a base, making a move up, coming down, forming a base. Stochastics are low on the daily. Toshi looks ready to bounce really hard. And the listings for Toshi are better than Brett. So you've got Coinbase, you've got Binance Alpha, you got Binance US. So I think Toshi is quite undervalued here for a meme coin. It's really, really solid. I could see it going over $1 billion in the next run. Now we've got Zora. This is a bit of a differential play because it's in a sector which people aren't talking about much, but which was very hot last bull run. And that's the Web3 kind of social media thing. Okay. There's not that many projects in the sector that are hot right now, but Zora is one of them. You can see the chart. It's been making a big move up. If you take a local fib on Zora, you can see it's actually in a local golden pocket as of right now, as of the time I'm recording this video. If you take a look at the daily stochastic RSI, it's also really, really low on the daily. So there's some signs that if Bitcoin turns around here, Zora is going to have a nice bounce. But if it doesn't, then I'd be looking at the macro golden pocket, which we can't get the exact level here, but it's somewhere around kind of the high 50s and the low 60s. So that's kind of what I'm looking at on Zora. I do want to get a position in it. It's in that Web3 social media narrative. It's kind of combining NFTs and social media together in a way. So you have an image. Think of it like Instagram. If you have an image, you can then sell ownership of that image to people who use Instagram. So you're basically NFT-ifying, if that's even a word, these images. So if something goes viral, you can make a ton of money off it. And other people can make a ton of money off it by speculating on that image itself. So if it's an art picture, if it's just a funny picture, whatever it is, people can speculate on that and make a ton of money by doing so. And the chart to me signifies a coin which is not dying out. It kind of reminds me of virtuals when virtuals started running. So another great coin on base. And you're noticing a lot of these new coins, a lot of these coins that are coming to the markets, that are fresh, that are new, they're performing really well and they're on base. That's the main chain that they're deciding to go on. And Zora actually raised a lot of money from Coinbase. Coinbase actually invested into the private sale for Zora, Coinbase Ventures. So it's backed by clear winners as well. All right, then we get to the most degen play of all, which is Heroes of Mavia. This is an Ethereum and base gaming microcap. It's a game just like Clash of Clans. Now, the all-time chart looks terrible. I've got to be honest. Like, when you zoom out on it, doesn't look good. But when you zoom in to the short-term chart on the daily, it actually doesn't look too bad. It's using a clear level of support here. We've got bottomed out daily stochastic RSIs. I expect it to bounce from this level, from this golden pocket, or it was a golden pocket. I don't think it is anymore because of this crazy wick we had. I don't know if that was a short squeeze or some big whale bought. I don't know what the hell that wick was, but sometimes it happens with low caps. You get these crazy wicks. Either way, it's using the 786 or it's using a golden pocket, depending on which, if you count that wick. I'm going to count it because it's still price action, nevertheless. And you can see we're actually respecting this level here that we've used multiple times as support with a bottomed out stochastic RSI. So if gaming makes a comeback, Mavia is going to pump crazy. The market cap's actually even smaller than what it says here. The market cap's $10 million. So going to 100 million, which isn't even a high market cap, is a 10x. Going to 200 million is a 20x. So I think it's possible to do those types of gains, maybe even more if we get a gaming run. But it's just one to have on your radar if risk comes back into the markets. Because think about it. You got all these people in crypto who are used to these old sectors. People who were in last bull run. They still remember gaming. I was talking to a taxi driver the other day in the US, and he only knew a handful of projects. He knew Pepe, he knew Bitcoin, he knew Dogecoin, and he knew Sandbox. And Axie. He mentioned Axie Infinity as well, and how people were playing it that he knew. So, you know, those are the things that old retail investors remember. And if they make a comeback, they're going to start buying up the gaming coins. They're going to start buying up the meme coins. So those are my thoughts on base, guys. Make sure to check out my VIP group if you're interested in my real-time buy and sell alerts. Like I said on this video alone, I've got a great track record. You've seen multiple of these coins I called early, and there's proof of it. You can watch my previous videos. Great track record. And if you join the group, you access a group that's open 24/7. People are talking in there. There's voice chats. It's a great place to be. And make sure to get on Blowfin. Use the link down below. Get that sign-up bonus and claim the money that you can get to start trading. It's going to come time soon where we need to start shorting some of these coins. Not yet, but I want people to be prepared and familiar with how to short coins, particularly Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin hits 130, 127, something like that, that fib pocket, maybe the top is in. And if the top's in, you want to think about making money on the way down as well. You don't just want to make money on the way up. You want to make money on the way down, and you can do so with shorting. You don't even need to use a ton of leverage. You can just do 2x, 3x, whatever, you fancy. But that wraps up for the video. Hit a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.